Okay, want to know something crazy? I'm a 45-year-old board certified dermatologist, and I have never had this wildly popular aesthetic treatment. Can you guess what it is? A facial. Yes, I have never in my whole life ever had a facial, which I know sounds crazy. It seems like everyone and their mother has had a facial except for me. When I tell people this, they're really surprised. And then they're like, wait, you don't think they work or they're not helpful? Why have you never had a facial? And really, I all I can say is, well, I guess I just don't really know what they do. I wasn't really sure how it would benefit my skin, and I just never thought to spend the time or money on them. But after talking with licensed esthetician and guest on this week's episode, Lindsey Holder, I think I'm ready to give a facial a try. On this week's episode, we are talking about how a great esthetician can really support your skin goals and help you simplify your routine and give you support on your skin journey, and how an esthetician, when working with your dermatologist, can really give chef's kiss beautiful results. If you are curious about a facial or what an esthetician could do for your skin, you're definitely going to want to check out this episode. My guest this week is Lindsey Holder. She is a licensed esthetician. She created her own spa, and now she's a podcast host, the Spa Skin and Beauty podcast. And she has a really cool skin and beauty app called Lapre. Definitely check those out after this episode. Lindsey, thank you so much for joining me. I am so excited to talk with you. I have never had an esthetician on the show. So it's also fun to have someone who's kind of in my neck of the woods in the Southeast. So welcome to the Skin Reel.
Oh, thank you. Oh, wow. I feel so honored for esthetician. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. So I would love to just hear in your own words kind of who you are and what you do.
Okay. So my name is Lindsey Holder. I am a licensed esthetician. I have been an esthetician for going on, oh my gosh, 15 years now. And I also recently started a thermography business. So I'm now a licensed thermographer too. My business partner is a doctor of oriental medicine, and that's such a I started off my career with her, and I've just been enjoying every minute of learning, the inside of the body too and how it all relates together. And so, I've podcasted as well since COVID, and here we are today. And I just love being able to share my knowledge with everybody else.
Awesome. Yeah, you sort of said before we hit record about why and how you started the podcast. So what was that like? Have you always wanted to be a podcast host?
No, not at all. I had, it was just that weird time where the governor, that was that day, you had to shut your door, that was it, and it was the craziest thing, and I had a ton of members, and I worked so hard for my business, and literally every single member, because that's auto drop, it was shut down. My business stopped completely, and I worked so hard on building that up, and I thought, I'm going to not just watch TV during this time and gain 20 pounds. I am going to take this opportunity to get to know what I did. I looked on my shelf, all the vendors that I was working with, and I knew that they weren't doing anything. So I had all of them on my show. I started that because I started as an educational resource for my clients when I came back. And I just built that, and I was able to talk to the biggest brands from the get-go that otherwise I probably, I just started, I wouldn't be able to do that. Then when I came back after COVID, it's go time now. The doors are open. I was like, here, sharing my podcast about this brand and how this product worked and giving my knowledge on skincare. Because when you're in the bed with a licensed esthetician, you only have honestly like 50 minutes, 45 to 50 minutes. I need more time with that person to give them the education. So I would send them links to how to take care of this and how to take care of this skin problem. And this product does this.
Yeah, totally. And like for me, it's like I get like 5 to 10 minutes, right? So I love that I can share because it happens all the time. I'm sure with you too. It's like, what do I do for my skin? How do I really take care of my skin? What products do you recommend? What procedures should I have done? Like all of this. And yeah, so it's nice to be able to say, of course I talk a little bit there too, but say, hey, I just did a podcast recording on this. go check it out. They can watch it on YouTube. So I just think it's such a great educational tool for people. And I just enjoy it too because I get to meet a lot of cool people.
It is fun. Yeah, you literally need more you need, like, "Here's 4 or 5 hours that we need to talk about this." This is not just a two-minute conversation, and every skin is different, as you know, so it's a whole other thing. Mhm, absolutely.
I would love for you just to kind of share what exactly is an esthetician? What does an esthetician do? And how can they kind of complement your skincare regimen and sort of your plan with your dermatologist?
I thank you for asking that question. An esthetician is I love to be able to help the tone, the texture of the skin. It's not my job to diagnose. That is your job as a dermatologist. So I'm not there to because they'll come in like, what is this? What is this? What is this? Like I can give like, I think it's this, but you need to see your dermatologist. But let me help you with your hyperpigmentation. Let me help you with your dark circles, with your dark spots. Let me help you with your tone and texture. By the way, what are you using for skincare? Bring in your giant bag of products and let's lay it all out and let me show you what you do need, what you don't need, what ingredients are going to work well for your skin with your skin type. And let me put them in order. I had an actress the other day as a skin consult, and she had a giant bag of supplements, makeup, skincare. I go, just put it on the table right there, line it up, and by the way, I can't do this in this hour, so I'm gonna take a picture and a video, and then I will put this all together and I can show you, you really don't need this. You can remove that because there's a lot of overwhelm. It's amazing. I will have ladies that have so many products from Ulta or Sephora, Amazon, Target, and they do not even need that product. So they're usually being sold that through, and I get it. I'm a woman. I like pretty stuff and I like influencers too. And they're being sold that from somebody that they saw on Instagram or TikTok. So I'm here just to help you with getting your skin in the best shape that I can and also helping you through lifestyle changes, life changes with your skin. Our skin is living, it changes with seasons. So I'm here to help you and understand your skin as well.
Yeah, I think a good esthetician really complements, right, everything else. And yeah, I love that you said the skin is living. I think people forget that our skin is an actual organ, right? And it's more than just your face, right? You have skin all over your body. And I find so often people just sort of stop right there, right? With the facial skin.
Yes, and especially I turned 48 this year, and so I'm so in tune with no, we're taking this all over the body. Like, I think the skincare lines need to have their face line, and then right next to it, they need to have their big body line. And Necessaire has impressed me because they're one of the few brands that have now they're like the retinol for the body and the vitamin C for the body, and OneSkin has their supplement for the body. I'm like, "Oh, thank you." So I'm like putting it all over.
Oh gosh, like I will use my vitamin C serum and my tretinoin prescription. I mean, I use it on my full arms now. I used to just do it on the tops of my hands, but now I am like, rubbing it all over. Yeah. So it would be great if they would provide a little bit bigger packaging for us because skincare, it's not just your face. Carry it down to your neck, your chest. And then you're right. I'm 45. So once you hit your 40s, you're kind of like, oh, wait a minute.
I need a giant pump that I can just put everywhere.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love that you mentioned too, like, not diagnosing, right? I think that's an important for people to know, and yes, of course, you are gonna ask your esthetician, "What's this?" I mean, I'm sure people stop you all the time to ask you. They certainly do, me too. And what I love about my esthetician, who I go see, she is so good if she doesn't know 100%. After a while, you get pretty confident at what's a seborrheic keratosis, right? Or what's not worrisome, but if there's anything she has a question on, she sends me a picture and she gives the patient my number and I agree to see them, right? And so we really work together. And there are times where someone's got a lot of redness and discoloration. I'm like, you need to go see Ronka. She's going to hook you up, right? So I think it's important that you have that sort of two-way street and that openness.
I will say it's, estheticians, we do see a lot of the same things over and I'm melanoma certified, so I'm able to look at the skin, and, like, the other week, I saw my dad's ear, I go, "Dad, obviously, I can't diagnose, but I'm pretty sure that's skin cancer in your ear. We know his Mohs surgeon, and you need to go see him and make sure that that's" and it was, and I've caught 2 on my mom's face and several on my clients, even their scalp. So an esthetician is really good at you're checking in with her when things pop up, and especially if she's seasoned. So again, to like, "Hey, that kinda looks a little odd. You may now it's time to go do a dermatologist check." I can't tell you how many times I would, like, give my dermatologist card, "Here, go make an appointment," and then she can take it from there.
Absolutely, and, yeah, I mean, I think I find that estheticians and hairdressers can be really good at spotting something worrisome, right? And being like, "Hey," even if you don't know what it is, right? Just to be like, "This doesn't look right. This doesn't feel right. I want you to go see whomever." So I get a lot of referrals from my esthetician friends and hairdressers, believe it or not.
So I have a tip when your esthetician starts the facial and they're doing their skin assessment with the glasses on, just make sure to ask your esthetician, would you look behind my ears really quick just to do a double check? Because there's so many things are behind there. And a lot of people do not put sunscreen on the tips right here and then right here underneath their nose. And both my grandmother and in my family and my dad, it's been there. And so I can't recommend that enough.
Exactly. Yeah, because you don't see that part of your body, right? So they're looking with their glasses close up. So make sure they're checking those areas. Can you speak a little on what makes an esthetician a good or well trained esthetician? Because I'll have people ask me like, "How do you know if someone's good?" I'm like, honestly, I don't really know. So, what would you recommend for someone? What sort of qualifications or skills are necessary?
I think that you should, first of all, to find an esthetician, get recommendations and have, the recommendations, whoever you love their skin and you can tell they take care of their skin, just like a dermatologist, your skin is gorgeous. I want my dermatologist skin to be glowing and pretty and vibrant. Same thing with my esthetician. And if you see somebody out and about or your friend, ask them who they recommend. And then I think that you should interview your esthetician and stick with the same esthetician. It's not a one and done, it's a relationship. It takes time, but ask your esthetician lifestyle questions. Like you need to be on the same path. It's so interesting. Sometimes I'll see estheticians and even on their Instagram, whatever, and I'm like, why are you in your two-piece bathing suit in the sun and you're literally so tan and oh, you got burnt. Oops. And then I see what you just ate. I'm like, what is going on? You're not my esthetician. Like you want to make sure that you align with the lifestyle. I think that is so key. And also ask your esthetician, like, how long has she been practicing? What is her focus? What's the last book that she read? Like, how is she continuing her education? And you can tell a lot of esthetician about what are they doing on their downtime. If you do go to a spa, I like to ask who's your best esthetician and how long have they been doing that? So just make sure that you know that you are also in control of that session and it needs to align with your values and your lifestyle as well. Because I have a pretty strict lifestyle and I will be very upfront with the client. Like, look, I want to make sure that we're on the same page or else what I'm telling you is honestly useless. So we got to work together.
Yeah. No, I like that. It's a two-way street, right? And I totally agree with like, even for like finding a dermatologist, right? Go by your friends' recommendations. Of course, people look at reviews and things like that. You just have to keep in mind, right? The people who usually write reviews are the ones who are unhappy. I mean, not always, but you have to somewhat take things like with a grain of salt. I think too, it's important to look at like credentials or did they go to school or training and make sure their vibe, their look, their lifestyle matches with you. And I'll tell people like if you are seeing someone who looks really overdone aesthetically, if that's not the look you're going for, I probably wouldn't go there because that is what they sort of see and do. And so, and if that is what you're going for, then go for it, right? But you kind of want to find someone who has like the same sort of vibe. Like my aesthetic look and vibe isn't going to be right for everyone.
100%. You can instantly tell by looking at your esthetician if that is your match or not, 100%. And I like how you pointed out with reviews. So I have since sold my spa, and I can say this, there would be reviews that popped up, and I was like, "You've never even stepped foot in here. Who are you?" And it was just made up. So you do have to really take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like it's a little bit like your hairdresser too, or at least for me, like, hair is kind of my identity for better or worse, right? And I love how you mentioned it's a relationship. Don't go in for like one thing and think your life is going to be changed and everything's going to be perfect, right? Like, again, skin, it's a living organ. If someone's promising you overnight results and it sounds too good to be true, it probably is, right? And it really is a relationship and plan on sort of investing, I would say, like a good 3 months, maybe even 6 months before deciding, like, this isn't worth it for me.
Yeah, I even had a client the other day and she's like, "I want these lip lines, like, gone away, like, right now." And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay, we can work on that, but we've gotta give it some time." I'm not that good.
Right, it's not magic, right? You had also mentioned lifestyle, and I think people underestimate the importance of lifestyle with how their body looks and feels, right? And it's really just something I kind of ignored until I was in my 40s, and unlike you, I was sort of sitting around gaining weight, right, during COVID. I was trying not to, but it was hard. How do you advise your clients about lifestyle? What are some of the things you like to talk with them about?
Oh my gosh, it's such a long list, and I don't wanna overwhelm people, but I like to start slowly. And so I just kinda think of, like, morning to night, and I'll just touch base on a list of things, and each thing has its could be its own podcast, right? But you really wanna focus on your lifestyle because I do think it definitely shows on your outside, and especially as a thermographer, and if people don't know what that means is I'm taking images with the medical grade camera, and so we see infrared, and I have an MD that reads our reports, and it's amazing from the baseline image that I take to when I have to see them 3 months or whatever their diagnosis is, 6 months, and when they have implemented those lifestyle changes, I can physically see them from the inside out. The inflammation, the circulatory system, it's incredible. So, in the morning and I have a toddler, okay? So, I do the best I can. So my morning starts off like charge, but actually I'm training my son like, "Hey, when we get up, it's not just go, go, go. We have quiet time." So that's the first thing we do in the mornings, we have quiet time. So I'm Christian, so I read my Bible, and he usually does a book or a puzzle, and that just sets my tone for the day. And then shortly after that, I like to get outside within 30 minutes when the weather is good, and I like to set my circadian rhythm for the day. I know morning sunlight is so important. It helps with everything, and you're getting your system ready for the day. And you're even starting to set like, this is the way it's going to be for the day. And then we're going to wind down for night because sleep obviously is a huge contributing factor. When I take my walk, because we're having movement, right? I love to put in my water, and I think filtered water is absolutely key. You need to have filtered water. I put electrolytes in my water. I have colostrum. I have amino acids and creatine. As I said, I'm in my late 40s, so strength training is important. So I make sure I have my amino acids and my creatine before and after my workout. So I'm doing all of those things in the morning. Then I will also do my lymphatic drainage. I think that's really important to have lymphatic health. And it's very quick. You can do it. Does not, I know it sounds overwhelming, but you can even like get a video on YouTube and do a quick facial lymphatic drainage technique and then, do the big 6 on your body. You can look that up with the big 6 areas. And I have a rebounder. I get on it for 2 minutes. 2 minutes, that's all you need to pump the lymphatic system, and then we're good for the day. So those are a few things that I do in my morning routine, and that's before I start my skincare and everything. I have a UV app on my phone. When I go out pretty early in the morning, so the UV isn't it's like 0 basically when I go out. So I don't have any sunscreen on that time. I think the vitamin D is crucial. You do need vitamin D. I think people are scared to death of the sun. Yes, you need to be respectful of the sun and know when it's time, put on sunscreen, but also know when you can get healthy sun and vitamin D. And so I'll do that. And then with my skincare routine, obviously I put on like vitamin C, antioxidants, and it's very simple routine, and I'm set up for the day. So that's my morning routine. At night, I think it's really important to wind down your body and set your circadian rhythm again. Grounding is good. If you can't go outside, you can get a grounding mat. Sometimes I have to do that. I like to go out in the sunset, get ready for the night. With my son, I put on in his room, and I have in my room a very inexpensive red light from Amazon. I have 2 on my nightstand, and he has one in his room. Just sets the tone. We're winding down, read a little bit, and I really believe to get those EMFs out of, turn your phone on airplane mode. That really makes a difference in your nervous system. You've got to settle down. You've got to wind down to be able to get that sleep. And for your ladies listening in their 40s, oh my gosh, sleep is hard because your hormones are going crazy. And so good sleep is hard to find. So you need all those things to set up for success.
Oh, yeah. First of all, bless you with having a toddler and getting to have quiet time in the morning. That is amazing.
Oh my god, it's not that quiet. I call it quiet time, but there's a lot of yeah,
Quieter time,
quieter
quieter.
time. I just call it that, yeah.
I find I wake up before the rest of the family, and then that is my quiet time too. My default used to be just wake up, hit snooze, and then I'd be already running 10, 15 minutes behind. And that's a terrible way to start your day. So it's like you're already starting behind. So I love the kind of quietness in the morning. And I have found I used to have a very hard time shutting my brain down to sleep. I would just be thinking about things, and part of the problem was I would watch TV before I would go to bed, and of course, you end up binging, you try not to, but then you're like, "Oh my gosh, there's one more episode," and my sleep is terrible, and now that I have a bedtime routine, which and I really do not watch TV. I mean, I've got this TV in the back that's really just like artwork. But I have noticed my sleeping and I'm also on a regular schedule, right? I go to bed around the same time, I wake up around the same time. And that has made a humongous just doing that and not binging before I go to bed, binging TV. I try. Now I've got 10 and 11-year-olds and we're on summer schedule. So it's a little bit more loosey goose, but I try to go to bed by 10, 10:30. I like to read a little bit, but sometimes I just go to sleep so fast. In bed asleep by 10:30 and then I wake up at 5. Weekends, I usually wake up at 6 just to kind of still keep with the early schedule. I'm not by nature an early morning person, but I've learned to love that quietness in the morning that I can have to myself that I don't get.
You're part of that 5 a.m. club. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get that quiet time when the family wakes up. Now, when I retire, I will probably sleep till I would love to just wake up when the sun comes out, but yeah, we're not there yet. It's a work in progress, right? Like it's never perfect, especially when you have children. So I just have noticed like by tweaking small things, and I think that's what can be overwhelming when a lot of people in midlife are like, "Oh my gosh, there's so much I need to do." And really, you could just start with one habit, and maybe it's I don't watch TV an hour before bed, or maybe I put my phone in the closet. Like that is what it took for me to not hit snooze. I have to physically move my phone, so I have to get up, right? So it can be just small things like that. I definitely am not, my mornings I see patients starting at 7:30, so like there are definitely areas for improvement. I'm not out getting a walk, which I wish I could, but again, I think it's just important for people to know like you don't have to do all the things, but just maybe pick one habit you want to work on for 12 weeks. And it really is amazing how your skin reflects that. And it really even more so than any procedure and product that we could do, right?
Yeah, I wanted to really design my life after and when I had my spa, I had to be there earlier. So now I don't take clients before 10 because I thought I just wanted to, I'm an older mom. It took a long time to get them, lots of fertility issues. And so I thought, I'm enjoying this time. I'm enjoying our walk. And then I can, design my day for 10. And I know everybody can't do that. So I will preface that. But on the weekends, you could have your walk on, your Saturdays or do a sunset walk instead. There's certain ways to do that. But yeah, absolutely.
Or yeah, like a walk at lunch, perhaps.
In fact, I do walk so when I'm in practice after lunch, because you wanna walk right after lunch for, like, 10 minutes to helps your digestion really well, and I get that vitamin D, and it's just for 10 minutes. It makes the biggest difference in my day. It, like, revives me. It's amazing.
Yeah. One thing I've also kind of learned is when I might be in like a funk or maybe a difficult patient or maybe an issue with a staff member or husband, whatever, but just like physically removing yourself from that environment, even if it's just for a couple minutes, can really just help. And sometimes you really just need to physically move, right? It's not going to get better if you're just sitting there kind of stewing. So maybe just get up, walk around your building, walk outside for like 5 minutes can be helpful, and that's something I didn't really recognize until people were like, "You need to change your position, your environment," right?
Yeah. You wanna, like, leave the fluorescent lights for a minute and get you're like, "Oh, there's sun. This natural light. It's such a different feeling." And then, yeah, it makes a big difference.
Oh, yeah. I am also, as I get older, I was just talking about this with a patient. I love dimmers. Like, if I could put a dimmer on everything, I would, because as it's starting to get evening, I don't want bright lights on. And I really want, sometimes my kids are like, why are we eating dinner in the dark? But I really do like it. It, again, also just helps my mind too. Like, it's time to slow down.
Yeah. Like, because 'cause you're gonna go to sleep earlier.
Exactly, exactly. At least where I live, though, it is light till, like, 9:30, so it's hard to convince little children, "Yeah, it's time to go to bed," even though the sun is way up in the sky.
I bet my neighbors are looking in my window like, "Why is their house so red at night? Because I have my red lights on." It probably looks hysterical from the outside.
I bet, but you know what? Who cares?
I don't care.
Now, so I cannot have an esthetician on without talking about products. So there's a young woman in our office who just went to aesthetic school and is going to be starting soon in doing that. And unfortunately, she's moving away. I wish she could stay, but I love her because she always will come up to me like, Dr. Mina, have you heard about da da da? Or let's talk about Xism. What do you think about growth factor? So she keeps me on my toes on all the cool products, all the cool stuff out there. So what are some of your favorites right now?
And I will say, ever since I started my podcast, oh my goodness, and I'm on a platform called Shop My, I cannot even tell you how many skincare brands have like they've sent left and right. I'm having to now. And at first I was really excited. I was like, "Oh, let me try this." And then I got so overwhelmed and then I thought, I can't even give a proper evaluation of this because I don't have it takes time to get to know a product and things like that. When I like a brand, I really and a line of skincare, I really look at what they've done with their research and how they've invested in that because I really wanna see that. I really do not care if Sally Joe on TikTok likes it. I wanna see you know what I mean? I wanna see what does that research. One of my absolute favorites is OneSkin. It's developed by 4 female scientists because they have their lab results. They actually use real skin tissue to see the results. It's incredible. So on most of they have like free webinars and where you can ask them questions and it's been amazing. That's one of my top favorites. I have not tried Young Goose, but Young Goose has a wonderful reputation. They are in the front of just skincare as well. OneSkin honestly is probably my top favorite that I make sure that all my clients have. I'm a little more lenient with moisturizers and cleansers. Vetted is a great skincare brand that is formulated by a dermatologist. I like it because it's so just universal for everybody. It's just clean and it doesn't irritate anybody's skin. I'm prone to rosacea and so it just works for acne, rosacea, I mean, everything. So I really like Vetted too. And I'm like trying to go through my entire arsenal because it's pretty varied.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many too, right? It does get overwhelming. It gets overwhelming for us, right? And always something new and exciting. And but yeah, I'm kind of with you. Like, I want to see data. I'm not just going to jump on the next bandwagon of something that's coming out. I want to see how it works and the other you had mentioned before, like your clients come in with all these products. Again, just you don't have to do all the things. Just do the quality ones that work for you, right? You don't need peptides, growth factors, you don't need all of these things, just pick like one, right? And I think that's hard for people because they're like, "Yeah, but I wanna do everything," and then they don't even know what certain things are doing, what order, it gets really complicated. So, yeah, it's not like you have to do all of these, just maybe pick one that you really like and use that.
I agree with you. And I think when you talk to your esthetician, this is one question I always like to ask my clients. Okay, realistically, how many minutes do I have with you in the morning and in the evening? Because I can give you this routine, but if you're not going to use it, like how many products do I have with you? Like I have a mom that I just did. She was currently washing her face with her antibacterial hand soap. And I said, we gotta stop that because she's traveling all the time, super busy mom. And I said, okay, how many products do I have and how many minutes? And she's like, you've got 2 products at night, 2 products in the morning. I've got maybe 3 minutes. I said, okay. So like that's what I had to work with. And that's what we do.
Yeah. Well, I love that you do that because I'm kind of like that mom. I mean, I'm not using antibacterial, so don't worry, but some people really love the luxury of their skincare and their routine, and for them, it's really this, like, ritual that they enjoy doing, and so not everyone necessarily wants to be as basic as me or that client of yours, right? And so it's important to know, like, well, maybe this person does wanna spend a little more time with their skincare. And again, you still don't need a 10-step routine, I'm not saying that, but there is room to maybe add in a few little extras for someone who enjoys that sort of skincare experience.
Yeah, sometimes I really like it and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm just so exhausted and I'm like, "Okay, what's the bare minimum?" I call my lazy skincare night. I'm like, "This is all I have energy for. I'll make up for it tomorrow."
Right, yeah, I mean, at a minimum, please just wash your face and do a moisturizer if you're over 18.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So, just depends on the day.
I hear you on that. I have a confession, which you may not believe, people don't believe it, but I have never had a facial. So
What?
yes.
And do you have estheticians at your place?
We don't, but I have one I work with closely, but I have never had one, and people are just, like, shocked when I tell them that. So,
Wow.
give me all the pros and cons of facials, like, what am I missing out on?
What's stopping you? I have to ask.
Probably just time, like, I just feel like I've got limited time, and I'm not really sure what it would help me with.
Okay, well, your esthetician, for you, it's going to be because you already know about your skin texture, your tone, so you're not really looking for education with your skin. For you, you're gonna be a little bit different. You're going in there to have your facial massage, your lymphatic drainage, and have somebody physically manipulate your skin, your tissues, maybe have some devices that they can help you with. That's what, if you were in my chair, that's what would be working on. I would be getting my high frequency tools out, my microcurrent, doing the things that you can just lay there and I take care of all of that. I'll be doing your scalp massage. I would take my high frequency one. We'd be doing, the comb and doing it through your hair too. And I would be doing my lymphatic drainage massage and facial massage. I would be helping your circulatory system, moving out your toxins and making sure we're getting rid of all that. So hopefully I like for like after you're with me, I like for you to like, you have to go to the bathroom after because I want you to get rid of all those toxins. So I think that's really important. So that's your session's just gonna be tailored different than the average person.
Well, pretend like I'm the average person. I'm not a dermatologist.
Oh, okay. I'm like, "You're not that is not."
Pretend I'm the average person, because people will ask me like, "Well, do I need a facial?" And I'm like, "Well, I've never had one." So
Yeah, I think facials and, when I did have my spa and I had monthly clients for facials, we were just assessing their skin where it was then. Like, for instance, we're in the hot South right now, your skin is gonna be totally different than the fall, so we would look over what you have, I'm gonna make adjustments to your routine currently, and then you can also ask me any questions, and we're going to take care of your skin then. Then we will look at your calendar and say, "Listen, we need to go ahead and start planning for maybe your peel in the fall." Like, I don't believe in too much exfoliation, so, we're gonna tailor that to where this time works with your calendar. I'm gonna help you build your routine out for the fall, like, you're planning ahead. "Oh, this spot just popped up. Okay, well, we need to add this ingredient to help with that spot. Oh, okay, so you have some rosacea that popped up and you had an eczema flare." So, I mean, there's things like we mentioned before, it's living skin, so things are coming up all the time. So it's not just a fluffy facial with me. It's education, it's refining, and it's also helping you also look good that time too. So I had a lot of people like, "Hey, I have an event that night. Okay, well, let's contour this. Let me help you lift and tone." Lifting, you can lift as much as you can with microcurrent. There is a point to where you can't lift, like you do need a certain age. It's time, let's talk. Let me give you a recommendation for a plastic surgeon because you need that true lift. But if you have something that night, I can lift and tone and I can teach you about how to use products at home too. I know you're working on your app for product knowledge right now, which I'm so excited for your app to come out. And I developed an app for tutorials because I would only have an hour with my clients. I was like, okay, can you do this at home? And they would be so nervous about it. And I'm like, you can do it. They're like, no, 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 no. I have to have you right there. I'm like, I promise you don't. So I built an app that shows it's physically me doing the work and you just type in what you wanna look or you can just scroll down and I show you how to dermaplane in your face. I show you how to derma roll, microcurrent, high frequency, like facial massage. Everything is in the app.
That is really cool. I wanna sign up. That sounds amazing. I think it's more, I love you had me at the massage part. Like, to me, I love, love, love a massage. Right. Right. And again, to our point of skincare is more than just the stuff you put on, right? Like, there is health in relaxing, shutting down for 50 minutes, right? And just being, like, in the moment. I recently had a dermatologist on, and she was talking about somatic skincare, how just, like, that touch is healing, right? And a lot of times in our especially if I mean, even if you are married, right? Like, people aren't necessarily being touched or held, especially as we get older.
You're absolutely right. And yeah, my husband's not gonna massage my face for an hour at night, and I can, you know what I mean? He's like, "No." So, you will look so well rested and relaxed after a facial, and yeah, you have that moment, have that relaxing music on, and just the atmosphere and the smells, essential oils, just the whole thing. I highly hope that you get one because it's once you have one, you can't stop.
Yeah, it's like a gateway. I love it. Well, I guess I need to revisit this and check it out.
I just wanted to let people know that I really think that lymphatic massage is so important and it's going to make the biggest difference in your skin's health. And whenever you feel like you're having an issue with your skin, to really focus on that, it can help with any kind of like rashes, irritations, any kind of skin irregularities. It's amazing. You really need to clean out your lymph daily. I would highly encourage you to start it there.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Well, you are doing so many cool things. Where can people find you, follow you, come get that amazing facial with you? What's the best place for people to connect?
Sure. So my website's lindseyholder.com. If you want to join my masterclass, you could do lindseyholder.com/masterclass or lindseyholder.com/guide and get a skincare guide.
Amazing. Well, I will include all that in the show notes. And this was a ton of fun. And congrats on all the great work you're doing.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure to be on.
We'll see everyone next week.